It just felt too big, too nebulous. I had no idea where to start. I kept putting it off and putting it off again, with no idea of what to do. I could have asked for help. But I didn't. How pathetic. I thought every other student can manage to write one, but you need help. Just fucking put your head down and do it. But I didn't. With 24 hours to go, I had nothing. So I found a dissertation on Google and I went through and changed it enough that I thought I could get away with it. I didn't. I have a hearing in a few days and I can't see any likely outcome other than being kicked out with no degree. I haven't told anybody. Besides a nice woman on the phone from Samaritans, because I didn't know who else to call. She didn't seem to know what to say though, and I can't blame her. What is there to say? You fucking idiot. How did you not ask anyone for help at any stage? Why are you the only person who can't fucking write their own dissertation? I'm so ashamed. So ashamed. I can't tell my friends. Students have, but I feel as though there is an unspoken contract that everyone can do so because they are all working hard. I have broken my contract and I cannot admit it. This shame pales in comparison to the shame I feel regarding my parents. I am dreading telling them more than anything. They have been nothing but supportive my entire life. They are wonderful people. They have given me so much help, sacrificed so much for me to get a good education. And I have spat in their faces. I am ashamed to be their son.
With the virus, contact has largely ceased at a lot of universities. I haven't had a
single meeting with my supervisor since it all started.
You know what you should say during your hearing? Exactly this.
Even if you get kicked out, at least you told the truth.
Face the consequences, try again, do it right next time.
What is Samaritans?
Unlikely that offers in a PhD program. Can't you imagine it as possible to
make up a PhD dissertation in under 24 hours? Also in hearings like that, showing that you feel guilty and ashamed tend to make them understand you and that it's something you
feel bad about. Just be upfront with them.
On this, my parents are so incredibly understanding, but it makes me feel that much more guilty when I actually do something wrong.
Honestly, that's partly on the unit, but it managed to get this far. I did know. Won't ask you for a draft at any point. Where will your advisors keep?
Your head up, I'll get through this.
They're not going to forgive them. The universities don't play around with cheating or plagiarism because it could jeopardize their credibility.
You sound like a good mom.
Oh no, you called to get an extension. Nothing. I'm so sorry I've got to. This point, fuck, did they not make you work on it incrementally? I've never heard of just being able to turn a dissertation in.
This was basically my thought process. It sounds like whoever their
advisor or supervisor was really dropped the ball.
My university asks for preliminary drafts weeks, sometimes months in advance. I had
to submit a working title today when I don't give qualifiers until October. While not an excuse, an advisor or supervisor definitely should have caught on well before 24 hours before it was due that they were struggling.
Or didn't he have anything?
I'll continue talking about her PhD. My wife is getting hers, and she has a committee of PhD as she reports to as she works.
Do the dissertation.
the grade 1.
It's a charity organization which helps others, so they're volunteers.
Offer support by listening to you. Mostly people call them, but I think they have an email service too.
Time will pass either way. Always choose to start the journey. Congress on finishing.
I try my best and I am not perfect. I never really connected with my mom and I
just wanted things to be different for my son.
Fight for yourself, but do not lie, or excuse your actions. Admit what you
Even tell them the same thing you put in your post. It sounds rather
like you had a low-key breakdown. In the UK, the big assignment you submit at the end of an undergrad is called a dissertation. I think it's maybe possible that the op is based over here as opposed to the US.
This motherfucker seriously thought he could talk his way out of.
But my god, reading that thread infuriated me. Thankfully all the comments
you were absolutely fucked and could go to jail.
Yeah, but that is like 2 months out of what 2+ years.
Long, I think I finally understand where I love. The love my mom gives me comes from this was beautiful.
I am going to take a stab in the dark and say an advisor that is not.
Very good at their job. Drop the ball.
Dissertations for PhDs are like books. They read hundreds of pages long with data citations findings.
This also doesn't he call the hotline Samaritans.
And he should have had to have multiple meetings with his advisor.
Going over it, my guess is it can be a PhD dissertation.
Yeah, I gotta say this seems fishy. Where was the oversight
on the part of your professor's op?
I don't imagine this guy's is a PhD student.
Unexpected Oathbringer. The most important step a man can take a test, not the first one. Is it a test? The next one, always the next step.
Even if they did, it's not an excuse. Just check the post again. Op said they cold vasked.
Their help just seems like a bad case of anxiety and
Procrastination.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Damn, that sucks. I know my friends with different supervisors. Didn't you have any issues either with weekly meetings? Shocking that unit can be that reckless with something so important.
This does not and will not determine your life. Unfortunately, if there's one thing that can determine your life,
it's a founded academic plagiarism accusation. It sounds like dissertation can just mean final paper for undergrad in the UK. That's way more believable than this story involving any sort of doctoral dissertation.
Man, can you be my mom?
Adderall is magic. I got a prescription in grad school, and I finished a first complete
draft of my thesis in 2 days thanks to it.
I got the impression op is in the UK and referring
to a bachelor's degree dissertation, still likely to end his academic career.
But not quite as devastating as this happening at a doctorate level.
Thank you for sharing. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read.
I don't think anyone is suggesting that it is an excuse, but it should definitely be a consideration when this is formally discussed.
I mean, in the grand scheme it will be okay. It is just real and gonna suck for a while.
The US has something like that, but at the end of the conversion they call the police on you.
Be persistent and set them up yourself. Only you will care this much about.
your work make it a priority to them as well.
Discussion in other comment threads has led me to believe that op might
Not be referring to a PhD dissertation.
Aren't you so sweet? I lost my mom about 9 years ago now. The thought of her and broke down with greater than I carried my boy under my heart.
For 9 months, thank you.
Yeah, I had no idea what that meant. Lol. Sleep with the dean.
To emphasize your point even more, I had terrible professors and teachers that sucked the passion out.
Subjects that I love due to their attitudes and treatment of people.
It can be PhD. He sounds like a young person who just finished his master.
That shouldn't disqualify him from the opportunity.
Well, we have it in Ireland too.
It's pretty much an unending woe.
That is pretty dang dumb. I can see that going well for you, but I hope you learn and grow from the situation and have a position view on it in the future.
Fucked up but made me laugh.
There are official channels. To go through to contact them, unfortunately all have been exhausted. Persistent nudging docent.
Work if the other side aren't willing to respond.
Many people have pointed out it's most likely not a doctoral dissertation, but a baby dissertation. No, it's not on the unit if I stole work from a rival company and submitted it as my own to my CEO, I wouldn't say it's actually your
fault for not overseeing me more. I haven't had a single meeting with my supervisor since it all
started. Oh, thank God, I thought it was only me.
Exactly, Op is lying.
That's why I got confused, but I figured if Op had 24 hours to go for his or
her freaking PhD thesis, then of course y'all are fucked.
You may have an underlying mental illness that's not really weird.
The desk head before might want to get to mental health counselor quick.
And make that trip part of your hearing.
Jesus, how much were you taking? Damn, this would be grounds for immediate disowning for me.
Glad someone out there has a fantastic mom.
I wish you were my mom, and I'm 33 a mom myself.
I feel like anyone who read his appeal would just want to expel him more.
I can't imagine him getting a second chance in a master's program either.
It's definitely not. You have proposals and annual meetings on progress. You have no ability to somehow plagiarize one lie and fake results now. That, on the other hand,
It is a service that offers a 24/7 phone line and email service for
People that are having mental health issues or just a tough time that they
need to talk about. Check out.
I had to submit a prospectus for a 300-level Milton course, but this guy fell through the cracks is mind-blowing.
He went to my university and all I know is that in appeal
He went through was unsuccessful. Just become a hack fraud is the hottest take I've seen this thread. But that's the opposite here in the US. Thesis is for master's, dissertation for doctorate. Where do I buy parents that function like this? If it were a PhD dissertation, it's not likely to be a science one.
at least.
In the UK, where I think op is when we call the final year undergraduate research piece a dissertation.
My prescription was for 15 milligrams. I never took more than one pill.
The day and I tried not to take it 2 days in a row.
But I think I made an exception for the thesis.
That really is the worst when you've researched a topic. Know you enjoy it.
Look forward to the lecture and that's the most boring few hours of your life.
We're sorry to hear it. Wish you luck. Oh my lord, you sound like a wonderful mother. Started tearing up.
Yes, someday this will be well in your past. You can
move forward while a significant thing.
This does not have to define you. If y'all are going through hell, keep going.
What do you mean, even if you think there's any
other possible outcome at this point?
Was there ever an update?
Yeah, same, but to say that the lack of check-ins even remotely absolves op is just wrong.
Whenever I get stuck in a bad situation, I just remember that people have
come back from worse. This isn't the end for you. Up good
luck and keep striving. You will tell this story to your children one day, and maybe they will not commit the same mistake.
Dumb as fuck.
That's honestly really sweet of you.
I fully agree with this.
You rewrite they may not, however, if they don't then there is nothing he can
do. At least this way he might have a chance.